Good afternoon and welcome to TED Talk. Today here I have Mr. Ted Ford in the building. He's here to discuss with us about his legacy and what it took for him to be one of the best African American baseball players. I do want to just put this on note. Mr. Ford is going to try to reminisce on his years back then. There may be some delays in his memories, but I do want to capture all these moments on camera because the information and the situation that this man has went through is phenomenal, and he overcame and became one of the best African American baseball players back in his years. Mr. Ford, if you can please just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I would love to. My name is Ted Ford from Violin, New Jersey. I played baseball in Violin, New Jersey for about 3 years.
And what made you proceed with baseball out of all the sports that you could do? Football, soccer, tennis. What made you choose baseball?
A guy inspired me with my cousin Candy. His name was Candy. He inspired me with playing a guy named Tom Ray, which he passed also. And these guys came to the park and watched me play. And they kept saying, how good. Oh, he's good, he's good, he's good. And my grandfather used to be there watching me and all that, and it was wonderful.
And what made you want to pursue that? Like, in the sense of, like, what said, you know what, I'm going to be a Major League Baseball player? Were you just sitting down one day and just said, you know what, I might as well just do that since they say I'm good? Tell us a little bit about what made you become a Major League Baseball player?
I was a shortstop when I first started off. And then I went to Texas Rangers baseball game, and they just made me an outfielder. They gave me a guy named Al Lavallo. I don't know if anybody knew Al Lavallo. He was one of the best outfielders that was in the major league. He taught me how to play outfield. So I learned how to play outfield, and then I was playing shortstop. They told me I'm not going to play shortstop anymore, so I went to the outfield. And I became one of the best outfielders in the world. I got a trophy for the outfield.
Awesome, awesome. Good to hear. Now, what about the teams you played for? I know I read about you being in the Cleveland Indians, the Texas Rangers, and then you went ahead and shipped over to Hawaii to play a little bit in a little bit in Mexico. Tell us a little bit about work you being with the actual Cleveland.
Cleveland didn't let me play that much because they had the best players, Vader Pinson, Chuck Hinton, Leon Wagner, all those guys wanted to play first. They would tell the guy, he just let me play. He said, no. The guy said, if we do that chance for to play, we gonna get traded. So Teddy Lander and all of them made their way, so I had to sit the bench. That's where it went.
Did you play at all with Cleveland, or were you just on the bench majority of your major league career?
I was on the bench majority of the major year with Cleveland. But when I got a shot, I showed off.
That's great. And what about Texas Rangers? I know you're known for there. They're always inviting you over there to kind of host some kind of fan base things. Tell me a little bit about Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers is one of the best organizations who gave me a shot. With and these guys helped me out a lot. Ted Williams really helped me out a lot. He really showed me a couple things. He kept me from the bad guy and everything. He told me he had belief in me.
And this is Ted Williams we're speaking about?
Yeah.
And he was one of your coaches, correct?
Ted was one of the best hitters in baseball. Number one hitter in baseball was Ted Williams.
And what did he tell you? I know you mentioned he was one of your biggest supporters. What did he tell you? What kind of conversations did you guys have?
Conversation, he wanted me, I hit a lot of line drives and the gaps and stuff, but the only wanted me to hit home runs. And Ted Williams told him I could hit 25 home runs a year. But the guy said, no, we don't want it, we don't want it. But Ted Williams stayed behind me. He stayed behind me all the way, pushing right on through it. And I wound up leading the team with home runs and RBIs and doubles.
And that's with the Texas Rangers, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. And then once you got released, from American League, you went ahead and started to go with the Hawaii. Tell us a little bit about playing in Hawaii. How was that different from the American League?
In Hawaii, it was San Diego Padres over there, and a lot of the thing was the bad thing is traveling. You take 5 games at home, then you got to travel across the water and come back again. But it was great. It was great. It was a good experience.
And then after that, you went and ended pretty much your career in Mexico. Tell us a little bit about playing in the Mexican League.
I played all over Mexico. Any place you can name in Mexico, I played. I wound up playing in the capital. We won a lot of championships. And we had 4 black guys called the Dobermans. when we wore that team and wore everybody out. There were people who watch us and who love us, everything. And I wound up hitting the over 300, and then I went back to the States to play, and I wound up with another team.
And tell us a little bit about one memory that kind of stuck with you, if you can. I know it's kind of hard to dig back in and kind of think about it, but what one memory can you share with us that was just either funny or meant a lot to you? Take your
I
time.
could say the only thing that really got me was uh, when I first got in the big leagues. I went to the park. I looked at it. I walked on the field, and I walked around. I said, hold my hands up on pitchers and mound and say, "How come you can't hit here?" Everybody said, "Tell you crazy. Get off the field, get off the field."
How did that feel to be in that area, in that field? I mean, a lot of people try to do it, but they never can make it.
I know it was so great. The perfect lighting, perfect field, perfect everything. I just couldn't understand how come they couldn't hit in that field. And
And which field is this? The Yankee Stadium field?
Yankee Stadium, I had 3 homers out of Yankee Stadium. I came with the Yankee Stadium playing against the Yankees. The first time it was the new park has been built. I'm on the books. The number one hitter, first one hit home run in Yankee Stadium. And I came back and hit another one. Same day. Then that next day played with the Yankees. I beat him again with another home run. And I was smoking. You know, it's so good to feel, you know. But I want to say one thing. People believe in the Lord. Let me tell you, He carried me through. I felt Him up there with me. I felt Him there with me all the time. And He told me, and all the time He said, don't forget Him. Believe it, believe it, believe it, believe it, because He's there.
And I know when I was researching a little bit about back in your years, it was hard to be an African American trying to play baseball. I mean, I know you were back in those years with the Martin Luther King, when Kennedy got shot, all of that. How was that? Like, how did you continue to just keep going?
It hurt me when Martin Luther King got shot. You know, then our president got killed in Dallas. You know, I loved him. And that was shocking because I had broke my shoulder. I hit my hip. I was in the bed 6 months with a cast on my hip. And I was in the bed and bam, they said somebody shot the president. And I was just hurt. Then Martin Luther King, you know, that whole thing was rough. It was rough.
And you overcame that, Mr. Ford. You overcame that. You continued to play. You continued to smile. You continued to be there for your fans. That is amazing. It's definitely something to talk about. I know a lot of older Major League Baseball players don't go out of their way and make kind of videos that you're asking to make to kind of get your point across. And we appreciate that. We appreciate you taking your time to sit there and tell us a little bit about your experience. I know this video wasn't very in depth, but it definitely was something that the viewers can actually relate to. Now, let's talk a little bit about your family. Let's talk about your support system. Anything that you want to go ahead and mention there?
I want to mention about my son. I used to take him up to Cleveland and watch him tell him, the guy say, hey, Ted, can I hit you? I say, yes, you can. He was the only one in college, hit 400. 400. You know, hit college 400. He played Houston Tillerson. That year, Houston Tillerson was the best in hitting and the best in the field. I was the coach.
That's amazing. So you were able to be there for your son still at your age. You were out there on that field.
Yes, I was.
Were you playing in that game? Were you hitting?
No, I was hitting with my son because he got hit me. Like, boy, if you hit, well, I was so disgusted because the coach didn't like him too much. And he had him throwing the pitches on the hill that day. And my son loved throwing knuckleball. And he hurt his shoulder throwing knuckleball, you know that.
And this was in college or this was in high school?
In college.
Okay.
And he loved throwing knuckleball. He can throw a knuckleball now. But the thing about it, he threw his arm out, you know, and then I was hurt more than he was. Because he was so well balanced at the plate. Anything, anybody, you could tell he was a good hitter.
That's amazing. Now, just to end this video, we don't want this video to be extremely long because we have so many other videos to come. But tell us something that you want the viewers to stay with, to go home with. All those viewers that are trying to be a baseball player, trying to be in your shoes, trying to make it to college, tell us a little bit about what they can do or what information you would like to give them.
I like for everyone to pick out something in life that you can do well, that you love to do, and stick with it. Because if you just jump all over here and there, you wind up in life with nothing. And just try to find something you like to make yourself out of. Because so many kids I've seen today, so many people who trying to teach people how to hit, don't know how to teach them, because the first thing you gotta do is do the stomach. And I give that people don't find it stomach.
And that's all we have for today, sir. And ma'ams, anybody that's watching this video, please subscribe, like, comment any questions you have for this wonderful man in front of me. We have more videos to come, more tips, more training videos, and more information from, the most amazing guy in the world, Mr. Ted Ford. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.